And welcome back. Well, it's a hard fact to hear, but 9 out of 10 women will face the end of their lives alone.
Even though you've saved money your whole life, it's important to come up with a good financial plan so that you don't run out. And joining us now is Kara Kaiser, Managing Director at BMO Wealth Management in Milwaukee, with a critical conversation about making smart, not just money decisions, but medical and legal as well, especially as we advance in age and later in life. Great to see you.
Thank you for having me. Great to be here.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, everybody wants to make smart decisions about their future, whether it's money, legal, medical, as we're talking about today. But sometimes I think we all could use a little guidance.
You know, it's a heavy topic, and it's a topic people don't often like to talk about. So it's also a topic really important for women to deal with. And so one of the things we can do to make it easy is make it very simple for people, right? Create a holistic financial plan and keep it simple, and that makes it easier for people to deal with.
Well, and that's what you do. You help with the medical, the legal, the financial, as Molly mentioned. So what would such a plan like that look like?
When you think about planning for your financial future, again, keeping it simple, think about your money, think about your health, think about planning for your loved ones, and where do you want to be in the future? Are you going to stay in Wisconsin, or are you going to live, right? Where do you want to be? So how do we plan for that? And I think most importantly, we want to make sure that we're making those decisions when we're of clear mind. Too often we see people, they come into maybe a tragic situation and they're forced to make those decisions under duress.
Yeah.
We all know we're not thinking clearly, we make decisions differently, so good advice, sound planning up front can make all the difference there.
It was an incredible statistic that Tiff just said about 9 out of 10 women that at the end of their life they'll be alone and without a partner. So let's talk specifically about women and what they should know as it relates to planning for the future.
Right. So on average, women live 5 years longer than men. So what we find in that statistic of 9 out of 10 women are on their own at the end of their life, that financial burden falls harder on women. The other thing we find is disproportionately women become the primary caregiver for other people in their lives, be it parents, spouses, family members, friends, and that often really limits the income potential that a woman can earn. So again, that financial burden is harder on women.
And then there's also the gender pay gap.
Right.
You can't forget about that.
Can you believe this day and age, women are making 78 cents on the dollar compared to men? So that's a topic really important to me. Ensuring financial preparedness for women, very meaningful.
I remember there was like that Facebook thing once where they're saying whose face could be on the next dollar, and they're like, well, if it was a woman's face on the dollar, it actually would be 78 cents. It wouldn't be a dollar bill. And it was like a great, it was a great visual though of like knowing the difference. Like, wow, it's not equal. Why are you so passionate about all this?
So I've been in banking for 20 years. It's hard to believe I'm that old, right? But I've been there that long, and I've worked with people in all walks of life and all levels of wealth. And there's nothing more heartbreaking than having a woman come in with the unexpected loss of a spouse, and she's dealing with that emotional burden. Now she's got to deal with that financial burden. And what we find usually in families, and there's nothing wrong with it, the man or the husband usually manages the finances. And that's fine, but then the woman often doesn't know, they're not involved, and they're not aware. So now they experience this life event, and they're thrust into that situation where they've got to deal with it, and they're not prepared. So conversely, I've seen it on the other side where you've got partners, a spouse, partners, married couple, family, where they meet up front. They develop a relationship with a trusted advisor who gets to know them, their family, their hopes, their dreams, what's important to them, and they create a financial picture with clarity and confidence that they go forward. And then when that same situation happens, that's just a phone call to your trusted advisor, and that financial burden really then falls on that advisor, and they say, no problem, we've got a plan, I know everything about you. We're going to now make an adjustment for this life event, and I'm going to be back to you. And we'll create now for you in your new situation clarity, confidence going forward in your finances.
I like that, because that peace of mind is so important. It affects our quality of life. And I like that you use the word holistic as it relates to this plan. So we talked about the financial. What about as it relates to planning, especially for women, for their wellness?
Absolutely. So as we think about your health, right, a good place to look into is what's the family history with your health. So do you have a history in your family of disease or other types of things that might impact how you spend your money in the future? So those are things that we would take into account, maybe with long-term care insurance, or even just setting money aside for those things that you plan for.
And retirement as well is one of those things that you'd have all those conversations about.
That's right. People most ask, am I going to have enough money when I'm retired? That's really first and foremost.
It's a big fear.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and planning ahead for that. in terms of preparing is so important, and other things to consider if people want more information. I like how you said you keep the plan simple for people.
Keep the plan simple.
What can people do to get more information about that, to meet with someone, to kind of take the fear out of that process?
That's right. So certainly we'd love to work with people, right? So you can go to our website at www.bmowealthmanagement.com. You can contact us at 414-287-8700. Most importantly, though, when we think about it, the path to financial security, not often a straight line, right?
Yeah.
But that trusted advisor can really help you navigate that. And what they're going to do, they're going to help you find out, what do you have, what do you owe, and how do we make you comfortable going forward, giving you that peace of mind and sense of security.
I think it's great, and I like the fact that you say do it together so the confusion is not there and you're all on the same page. Here's BMOWealthManagement.com is the website to learn more. 414-287-8700 is the phone number that Kara mentioned as well. Thanks for being here.
Great, thanks for having me.
Great to meet you.
Appreciate it.